things to consider before relocating to New York City. How is it to live in New York City? Do you want to live in the Big Apple? Then you are most certainly not alone. New York City has the highest population density in the whole United States, with a population of 8.4 million people that continues to expand. People from all over the country and the world come to New York City because it is known as a center for culture and diversity. In fact, the city alone speaks approximately 800 different languages. New York City is known as the city that never sleeps, because of its strong industries, opulent retail districts, Broadway plays, and vibrant nightlife. Relocating to New York City. How is life in New York, New York? Even though movies and TV shows often show how easy it is to live in New York City, it's not always that easy. Even though the way of life is fun and interesting, people who just moved there may feel overwhelmed by how fast everything moves. Fortunately, you can learn about all of the secrets that make New York City one of the best locations to live in New York with the aid of this moving guide. When relocating to New York, it is crucial to understand that the city is the most expensive in the United States to live in. The cost of living in New York City is 129% higher than the national average as of 2023. Living costs in New York City are also much higher than in San Francisco, which is thought to be the second most expensive city in the U.S. While deciding on a city to relocate to, consider the cost of living as well as the value the city offers, and there is no city like New York City. In the northeastern United States, only Boston and Washington, D.C., are more expensive cities to live in. When compared to the cost of living in New York City, it is advised that a resident earn at least $11,211 per month before taxes, about $135,000 per year, in order to live comfortably in the city. The current minimum wage in New York City is $15, while the median income is roughly $63,998. Whether or not the expense is worthwhile depends on where you choose to live in the city and what type of job you have. Prices have risen again after falling dramatically during the COVID-19 epidemic. Purchasing a home versus renting in the city. Finding a wonderful spot to live in New York City is easier than it appears, as it is considered a generally safe city when compared to other large urban regions in the country. If you want to live in a pleasant and safe neighborhood in New York City, be prepared to spend a lot of money. With housing costs that are 369% higher than the national average, you should spend most of your money on housing. Not only are housing prices high, but with a down payment, property taxes, closing costs, and other expenses, purchasing a home in New York City is sometimes out of reach for people. However, only 32% of New York City's inhabitants own a home. While home expenses are high, rent prices are even higher. The average monthly rent in New York City might reach $5,100 per month, depending on the neighborhood you choose to live in. The most costly neighborhood to live in is Manhattan, where rents begin at about $3,000 per month. Because of this, it is very rare for renters to have a roommate or make extra money with a couple of side jobs. A daytime picture of the Empire State Building and the skyline of New York City, with birds flying through the air. There are 5 different boroughs in New York City. Each has its own neighborhoods and way of life. While these boroughs are very distinct from one another, they all contribute to the famed New York City of today. Manhattan is the most well-known borough of New York City. It is known for its skyscrapers and busy financial district, which is centered on Wall Street. The Upper East Side and Upper West Side are both located here. This is the city's most costly borough. Brooklyn is the most populated borough in New York City, home to more than 2.6 million people. On this side of town, the Brooklyn Bridge is a well-known landmark. Brooklyn's rent is higher than Queens' rent. The Bronx. This borough in northern New York City has seen a decline in crime in recent years. JFK International Airport is located in Queens. The majority of the neighborhoods in this borough are designed for middle-class and affluent families. Staten Island. The city's least urban borough, accessible via ferry or bridge. If you are relocating to New York City, it is time to abandon your car in favor of public transportation. Just roughly 45% of families own a car in the city as a whole. While having a car might be useful for excursions, driving in New York City can be dangerous and complicated for new residents. Not only is it expensive to buy a car in the city, but the shortage of parking and chaotic traffic will persuade anyone to avoid driving at all costs. Because of this, it's not surprising that most people choose to walk or take public transportation, like the metro. While taking the subway can be unpleasant at first, it is widely regarded as the simplest and cheapest method to move around without having to worry about gas prices. It's easy and cheap to take the subway, which costs about $2.67 per ride or $127 per month for unlimited rides. If you opt to use the subway, keep in mind that the majority of New Yorkers will be doing the same. Expect long lines, especially at peak hours. Before you relocate, make sure to account for commuting time to and from work. The humid subtropical climate of New York City means that summers will be hot and humid and winters will be cold and snowy. What many people do not realize about the city is how frequently it rains. The average annual rainfall in New York City is 47 inches, while the national average is 38 inches. New York City receives an average of 25 inches of snow per year during the winter months. Because precipitation falls on 119 days out of the year, keep a rain jacket or umbrella on hand just in case. As the greatest economy in the United States, it is no surprise that New York City has the most billionaires in the country. With a GDP of $1.7 trillion, the city's economy would rank 10th in the world if it were its own country. Most locals can find work in technology, banking, insurance, healthcare, real estate, fashion, journalism, mass media, and publishing, as the city is known for its successful industries and huge corporations. Some of the world's largest firms, including HBO, American Express, Shutterstock, and Tiffany's, have their headquarters here. The United Nations and the Wall Street Stock Exchange are both located here. Northeastern Manhattan has earned the moniker Silicon Alley due to its concentration of high-tech firms and new media startups. Among the technology leaders based here are Apple, Google, Facebook, Robinhood, IBM, and Razorfish. Yankee and Mets stadiums are popular tourist attractions in New York City, New York. When residing in New York City, there is no shortage of professional sports teams. No matter what sport you enjoy, there is a team to cheer for. Because the league is known for its fierce competition, choose your side early before the season begins. The area's teams include the New York Yankees and the New York Mets of Major League Baseball, the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders of the National Hockey League, the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets of the National Basketball Association, and the New York Giants and the New York Jets of the National Football League. If sports are one of the reasons you want to relocate to New York, New York, this is an excellent reason. Even though New York City is known as an urban jungle, because it has so many tall buildings and skyscrapers, it also has many popular parks and outdoor activities. With 14 miles of public beaches, the city is more than just concrete and busy streets. Furthermore, the city is approximately 1 hour and 42 minutes from the Hamptons and 4 hours and 41 minutes from the Adirondack Mountains, making it ideal for weekend vacations. Central Park is the city's fifth largest park, located between Manhattan's Upper East and Upper West sides. Washington Square Park. Located in Lower Manhattan, this park is a popular gathering site as well as a great place to listen to street music. Theodore Roosevelt Park has beautiful grassy areas and a dog park. It is close to the Museum of Natural History. Pump House Park. Situated in Brookfield Place, this park has lovely landscaping, seating, and a stunning view of the river. Inwood Hill Park in Manhattan is a fantastic spot to take the family and walk the dog. The Empire State Building in New York City is a renowned tourist destination for visitors to New York, New York. Every year, millions of people visit New York City to sample its cuisine and culture. New York City, with its many famous monuments and popular attractions, has no shortage of things to do and places to visit. From seeing a live Broadway production to shopping in Times Square, there are a few tourist sites that must be seen at least once before becoming a resident. The Statue of Liberty National Monument is a sign of freedom. It is on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. Climb to the peak for panoramic views of the city. The Empire State Building, a 102-story structure in Manhattan, is the 8th highest structure in New York City. Rockefeller Center is famous for its massive Christmas tree lighting during the holiday season, which draws over 125 million visitors. Madison Square Garden. This indoor event venue hosts professional sporting events and concerts. The New York Rangers and the New York Knicks play there. One World Trade Center. Constructed in memory of the September 11, 2001, terrorist attacks, the One World Trade Center is the tallest structure in the United States. On the upper levels, there is an observatory deck. The food in New York City is incredible. Eat homemade bagels for breakfast every morning, find pizza on every street corner, and end each day with a large slice of New York cheesecake. Living in New York City, which has been named one of the finest gourmet destinations in the country, will do wonders for your taste buds. Make sure to participate in NYC Restaurant Week, which occurs twice a year, to get the most out of your big city eating experience. This is a great way to try new foods for a low price since it has over 300 of the best restaurants in the city. Le Bernardin. Enjoy French cuisine and superb service. Gramercy Tavern. For robust flavors and great desserts, this is a must-visit. Expect to pay a premium for the experience and the food. Dame. Enjoy delicious seafood and handmade beverages in a relaxed setting. Make a point of ordering the fish and chips. Louis and Ernie's Pizza. Located in the Bronx, this pizza joint specializes in thin crust. The white and sausage pizzas are crowd favorites. Bread's Bakery is a bakery that specializes in handcrafted bread, baked goods, coffee, and sandwiches. The bottom line of relocating to New York City. Moving to New York City is an excellent decision if you are looking for better work prospects or a new experience. There is never a dull moment in this city, which has a wealth of cultural sites and never-ending entertainment opportunities. While the city may not be as inexpensive as you had imagined, there are still pleasant and fantastic places to live that fit the stereotype of the New York lifestyle. If you decide that buying a home in the city is the best option for you and your family, please contact one of our educated and pleasant realty professionals before you move to help you through the home buying process. Find a home that suits your needs and budget with the assistance of our specialists. Call us today to locate your ideal New York City property. Follow us at www.newstoday.nyc and News Today Reviews at YouTube. Thanks.